What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Taco Tuesday. I think I'm gonna make some tacos today. I think actually I am gonna I'm gonna get me a nice steak, grill it on the grill, and slice it nice and thin. Some picante sauce, some guacamole on it, man. Yeah, that's what I think I want. Definitely want. Chop up some jalapeno peppers to go with it. Oh yeah, something nice and spicy, and maybe a little bit of Spanish rice, Spanish grilled rice. That's what I'll do. Anyway, you know, it's kind of funny to me. It's kind of funny because listening to the talking heads out there, the Cowboys, you know, they're going to be relying on some rookies to step in. Listening to the draft grade, Dallas Cowboys, B, some people B minus, maybe a B plus. You know, that they didn't go out and get weapons and this, that, and the other. You know, I love history. I love history. You know, I'm working on a house built in 1837. You know, the red brick house was built in 1820. Maybe this weekend I've got to go back to Harrisburg on a house that was built in 1867, I believe. The thing about history is this. History will teach you a lot of things, okay? People forget things that have happened in the past. Now, I get it. Technology gets better and changes and evolves, but the ideas really don't. It's just that there's new technology. And it's funny because I remember when the Cowboys, I'm going to say it was 2013 draft in Radio City Music Hall, when the Cowboys traded back and ended up getting Travis Frederick. And they picked up a third-round pick, and they used it to get Terrence Williams. They laughed at the Cowboys. I remember Adam Schefter. Well, the Cowboys traded back in the first round and took a center. You know, I remember all the talking heads saying, you can get that guy in the second round. Well, maybe you can, or maybe you can't. You don't know. The bottom line is that you get the guy on your roster. And so looking at this, you know, we hear, you know, like I said, my buddy, Walker Wade, you know, he's like, oh man, you know, Kavanaugh's talking about they're rebuilding and stuff, and they're getting these guys for the future and this, that, and the other. Well, the reality is when you drafted Tyler Smith, you got him to replace Tyron Smith. That was the reality of what they thought. That this is the heir apparent for Tyron Smith, right? Well, Tyron Smith tears his hamstring before the season even starts. And he gets in there and replaces him and does a good job as a rookie blocking there. One of the most consistent guys we had actually that season. And then in his second year, becomes an all-pro guard. So they're trashing the Cowboys, saying they're rebuilding and so on. Okay, I get that. But now I'm seeing articles that are popping out that say that the Cowboys may have had the biggest steal in the draft. Say what? Now wait a minute. They said the Cowboys didn't get any weapons. They said the Cowboys didn't do anything spectacular. The Cowboys, they didn't have a great draft. They, you know, looking at the draft grades. And now you're saying that they got the biggest steal? How can both of those things be right? How can both of those things be true? I'm trying to understand. I'm asking for a friend. And they're talking about Cooper Beebe. I showed you guys this morning what Brian Bolginger said. We're talking about a guy who, in over 1,200 snaps, gave up two sacks in his college career. A guy that I say looks like Juggernaut. Not Juggernaut from the Marvel series, but Juggernaut from Deadpool 2. That one. because the way he's got his head and his shoulders, that guy is an absolute beast. If he is a plug-and-play guy, if you plug him in and he plays better than Tyler Biadasz, just hypothetically, let's say he plays better than Tyler Biadasz, you don't think that doesn't change everything across the offensive line? You don't think that? And as good as Tyron Smith was last year, understanding that you had to put him in bubble wrap, and every week it got to be Tony Romo-esque. You know what I mean by Tony Romo-esque, right? With Tyron Smith. See, here's the thing. Late in Tony Romo's career, you had one of three things that were going to happen every time Tony Romo scrimmed. One, he'd do like a whole Houdini thing, so to speak, like when J.J. Watt thought he had him dead to rights and was going to kill him and break him in half, and Tony Romo spins out and launches a TD pass to Terrence Williams. That's the kind of thing. That's one thing that would happen. Second thing that would happen with Tony Romo would be you get a Tony Ono. You know, you get that ill-timed interception pass. Or three, the worst thing, that Tony Romo would get hurt, that he'd go down and not come back up. And that's how it got to be with Tyron Smith. You had to hold your breath every week on whether or not he was going to get hurt. In fact, sometimes it was in practice during the week, you all of a sudden heard there's an injury. Now, he did play, I think, 13 games this past year, which is the most he's played in like the last 4. On average, he averaged 7.5 games a year over the last 4 seasons in Dallas. So as they say, your best ability is your availability. And so as we start here thinking about the second T in TNT, Guyton, and plugging him on the offensive line, the fact, I don't see how anybody can say that the Cowboys didn't do an incredible freaking job by taking and getting Tyler Guyton and possibly the steal of the draft with their first-round pick. You literally got possibly 2 starters, above average starters, with 1 pick. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying, people? You took your first-round pick, moved back, took a potential starter and Tyler Guyton, another big mauler, and with the other pick, potentially got the steal of the draft, and you get a B-? What? Okay, I hear you. And I dare say, what the Cowboys did in this draft, is they're working on countering the Eagles' defensive front. Because the Eagles' defensive front, with the Jordan Davises and the Jalen Carters and all that, they're a big front. They're a very big front. And I will say, when you start dealing with the San Franciscos, that you need... That was a pink car. Okay, is that a Barbie movie? That was a Tesla. A pink Tesla. Okay. That you are building to go against these teams that basically have made you their bitch. The San Franciscos, with their front, where they come in and they bitch slap you. That you got some guys that are going to be physical in things. So I get that people are doom and gloom because we didn't go out and sign like an Odell Beckham Jr. and things. But if they are right, if this calculated risk on this offensive line is right, this team just got a lot better. Call me crazy. I don't care. Y'all going to call me crazy anyway. But that's what I look at. Cowboys may have gotten the steal of the draft. yet they're a B- in grading. Okay. I get it. All right, about 30 minutes more to go before I'm back to the red brick house. Be glad when I get this thing done, although I'll be on the road to Pennsylvania this weekend, and I'll be in Vermont. Rebuilding houses. And that, my friends, will be a great feeling. And then tomorrow, I'll be mixing it up with Dan Salio. Yeah, life is busy. Peace out.